Think in, speak up, act out. I like that. And when you mentioned the difference between chairperson and chairman, it made me think, are there other simple examples like that the audience could benefit from just knowing, some things that we might take for granted in our businesses?
There's a lot. Actually, I'm in the midst of, me and my team are writing a class on inclusive language right now. So I'm kind of elbows deep in this, and it's big and small things like, do you use the term blacklisted to say how bad things are getting into your email? You know what? That's, black means bad. Oh, it's whitelisted. White means good. Are you using that kind of language? If you're in the real estate game, a lot of realtors have moved away from saying master suite to main suite. Why? Because it's called a master suite for a reason, and that's not some cool things we want to keep reoccurring and reinforcing within our language. Looking at any of the ways that we're looking at gender, and you see things like in the acting profession where people have moved away from actor, actress to some extent to just calling everybody an actor. You make that term gender neutral. And so analyze the words that you're using both in print as well as verbally, and ask yourself, is this as inclusive as it could be? I'm not trying to be the HR police or the politically incorrect or correct folks and slap people's hands. No, I'm just trying to say, think about how those words are being heard by other people. Because I have a lot of folks in my classes who are like, well, that doesn't offend me. I'm like, good for you. What about that person over there? And just think about it. And we talk about effective leadership. Empathy is so underutilized as an effective leadership tool. And this is a great opportunity to exercise that empathy by hearing things through maybe the ears of others.
I think language is so important. I'm glad you gave a couple examples there. We actually, in the early days, had this program at Trainual where it was like our community of people, and because people are often making training manuals or operations manuals, we'd called it manual masters. And we changed that to now it's called process people. So simple example of just like those little language tweaks that can be a lot more acceptable. The other thing I thought of when you were talking is we have a few team members out in Ukraine, and I've been learning like a little Ukrainian language. It's interesting that the nouns like actor never had a masculine and feminine version until more recently they've added those versions. So do you think it's different internationally where, maybe in the English language we're going toward like a gender neutral version of words, and internationally you're seeing that a different trend?
Yeah, and I wouldn't say that I'm an expert linguist. I barely know English, quite frankly. But I used to be fluent in French, and the whole masculine and feminine thing. And I think things are becoming a little bit more ubiquitous as far as neutrality and gender neutral words and phrases.
Yeah.
But some of it's just really hardwired into the specific language. And so I think it's going to take a bit of time to either unpack that or look at those different masculine and feminine types of things in certain languages to see them less as one or the other. They're just more, part of the linguistic journey that's there.